help us gain some of the resources and policy decisions we make. I want to introduce Bruce M.3g2 to present our next proposal. Bruce?
Well, as Max advised me, I think I may just speak without using the microphone. It might be easier to hear me without the echo associated with our microphone. Since I'm a loud guy, you probably can hear me. This is a wonderful reunion of so many people that have worked together, done battles in the community, really innovated and have been involved with tremendous victories and tremendous vision to implement those kinds of things that Carl talked about and that many of us have talked about not only today but every day. A belief that our communities, workplaces, that deserve for its citizens and everyday people to have access, to make contributions, to grow, to evolve, to have economic opportunities, and a belief that technology could enable that process. Many of us have become not just compatriots in this technology activity, but really friends and colleagues and advisors when we're trying to figure out why our systems won't boot up, why we can't connect to networks, how we can get funding, how we can get a ride down to Springfield. So many things that go on not only in our own neighborhoods, but in fact all around the United States and some even globally. It's been a phenomenal experience, and I really salute the organizers of today for bringing us back together again. It's been too long since we've been in the same room, sharing ideas, learning from each other, and growing together. And our next awardee is someone who, again, all of us, I'm sure, know and have such a tremendous respect for. I'm going to give you her favorite saying, which she repeated time and time again, and I think will bring a smile to your face. She said, a lot of politicians talk about a chick at every spot or a car in every driveway. I want to see a computer in every house. Again, we've heard her say that, and what's so phenomenal is that I have the benefit of Representative Howard happens to be my state representative in my neighborhood on the south side of Chatham, Chicago. So I get to vote for Connie all the time, and I'm glad to have that opportunity. But Connie is more than just a representative of mine on the south side in a district in Chicago. Connie has given those same messages of encouragement in Dixon, Illinois, in Carbondale, in Champaign-Urbana, in Springfield, and she really became the advocate for digital inclusion and opportunity for the entire state of Illinois. And if you talk to any other representative or senators or governors, and governors go and come as we know in Illinois, they all tell you, well, I don't really know a lot about this stuff, but Connie's my go-to person, so when I have to know what's going on, I kind of talk to her about it. And it's really interesting. I happened to see last night there were, I thought Carol Marine was interviewing two candidates, and she was asking them, okay, you guys got web pages, you got Facebook, you got all this stuff. Do you actually know anything about it? And both of them blew the damn question. They said you got blogs, you post and do anything, but Connie answers her own email. She posts her own Facebook messages. She forwards stuff to you in your email inbox. And of course, one time I was going somewhere with Connie. I'm like, Connie, how are we going to get there? And she's not going to drive. And I'm going to pick you up. And you arrive with me. And I'm like, well, don't you have a driver? She said, you're looking at me. So I can tell you so many wonderful stories. But again, all of us in Illinois have benefited phenomenally from her efforts to make sure that the conversations around digital opportunity, around funding, around programs that have allowed some of the CTC to be very successful and to sustain, and has always included this, because you have to recognize that in many of our communities around the entire state, our problems are complex. Our problems around crime and education and health care and economic opportunities, we know cannot be solved with just an internet wire and a piece of hardware. But these problems are much more complex than that, and state representatives and people in government and policy have a lot of issues that they have to deal with, and competing issues in their community. And so when someone comes out and takes the leadership in an area like technology, as much of us here, in this family want to stay right on time and keep it up, there are people asking her, well, why are you wasting your time on that stuff? Why are you talking about computers and software? You need to be talking about jobs. You need to be talking about healthcare. So it takes a lot of courage to stay on point, to stay on the topic, to balance these kinds of things, but still deliver things that communities find